What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. At Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thank you, everybody, for supporting. But this video is entitled Nas and Kelis Custody Issues Again. So, Kelis takes their child to Colombia, Cartagena, Colombia to be exact. And I guess during the Christmas break of school. But at the same time, basically took the kid out of school to be homeschooled. She puts up an Instagram post, I believe it's an Instagram post, basically saying, I guess she's trying to do a business deal and have a coffee farm, right? But here's the problem. Nas was supposed to have their kid, I guess, the week of the New Year week. And Kelis didn't come back in town in time. So maybe a couple of weeks went by. She's still in Colombia. Nas is like, okay, this is a problem. And it's kind of like rumored in the air that she's trying to move to Colombia to live on that farm. And I want to talk about this topic because just using them as a reference of how bad behavior keeps going on, because I was reading an article about it, and the article said that he filed contempt like 17 times last year. And I think Kelis, as a person, is predictable. Every time Nas's name gets in the news for making money on one of his deals, she does something over the top, without fail. She's gonna be extra. He made money, I gotta stick it to him. That's just how it looks to me. So this situation is no different. And people forget about, the situations with, the last time saying he was abusive and then putting him out as like he don't take care of his kid or whatever. And people forget, she was filing for like 50 grand the minute the baby was born and didn't want him in the delivery room. She's been like this since day one. So here's the problem. And they're both millionaires, so money isn't the issue. It's a personality problem. It's a character problem. Now, first and foremost, if you take a kid out of the country without the other parent's consent, you in hot water. Now, a lot of the laws that mothers break in the country, they really don't trip about. I mean, you could take them back. This is why I said Nas filed contempt like 17 times last year. Does that change anything? No, she continued the same ridiculous behavior. And they just kept excusing it. But see, when you take a kid out of the country and then you don't bring them back, or you don't bring them back when you're supposed to, and you take them out of school at the same time, and it's a rumor that you might wind up living there, you got problems. Serious problems. And there ain't no going back from this particular point now, because I'm going to tell you why. Even if she was to stay and take the kid, because that's what it looks like as a setup, there's a treaty between the U.S. and Colombia for extradition, so they can get the kid back. So even if she was silly, even if she took it that far to do that, that's the problem. This is why Halle Berry couldn't move to France with her daughter, because they don't allow U.S. citizens to take their kids out of the country. It's the same issue Tyrese had with the other daughter trying to move back to Israel. You can't play that game in the United States. All the other games that mothers can play, you can play that one. But the out of the country thing, that's dead in the water now, because too many people did it. And if people remember when Chris Bosh was on the Olympic team, the mother didn't want Chris Bosh to bring the daughter to the Olympics in the summertime because she used that same rhetoric and excuse. He could kidnap the kid and never come back, as if he was going to be on the Olympic team and stay there and never come back. He still was playing in the NBA. but that was the rhetoric that was used. So here's the problem. Nas made more money. Kelis lost her mind again. But this feeds into a bigger problem. Mothers are starting to be are starting to be on the losing end of public opinion. Cause see, remember another celebrity, Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's a woman beater. He beat his child's mother. He had 3 kids with her. He got a kid with somebody else, and I think he has one on the way. But I'm going somewhere with this. You remember, it was alleged that he beat his child's mother, and the kids were there when it happened. And he wound up going to jail for that. No pictures, no nothing. Nobody even sees. Chris Brown, they had assault pictures. Floyd Mayweather, no assault pictures. You feel me? And he used to always say, put the pictures out. But here's the kicker about that story. Years later, the oldest son, I think, and that's the same son that was beefing with him about that situation, if I'm not mistaken. Could be mistaken. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the same son. Recently, it was like, I'm moving in with my father. I can't live here no more. I'm done. Like, I'd rather be homeless than live with you. That's how he felt about his mother. Because the home life was that toxic. The Matt Barnes situation. His ex-wife went so far that she got arrested at a school. So that tipped the scales of custody. Right? And even using 50 Cent to a degree. His son hates him because he hates his mother, basically. But here's the problem. What actually is the mother's problem with 50 Cent, though? I mean, he made her a millionaire, did he not? She lived comfortably, did she not? She lost her house on her own, did she not? He helped take care of her and pseudo the other kid because she had a kid before they had a kid. Did he not? But, he's the mean guy. He's the bad guy. Of course, he's trolling people. But him as a father is different from him as a troll. But his son's behavior is basically retribution for his mom. And even 50 Cent said that, my son reminds me of me. So, it's certain things I try not to do because he'll hold a grudge forever just like I do. I remember that back in the day. But the son hadn't taken into consideration, if it's true, the mother took the last child support payment and got butt injections or a butt lift. It ain't really clicked in his head that he was just a check, and she used him as a pawn or a troll to get for her to get back at his father. That's the problem. And the reason I'm speaking about this with Nas and Kelis is because, see, a lot of this stuff is public information and public knowledge. People can film and record everything. It's gotten to the point where the courts have apps that can record the conversations so they don't get none of these BS stories that's going on. So Kelis is really going to lose that kid at some point. Whether it's through the court or whether the kid, just gets tired of her behavior. Because what people fail to realize about parents who parent like she's doing, at some point the kid gets tired of lying for you. The kid gets tired of manipulating people for you. The kid gets tired of being in the middle of your vendetta. And the kid just wants a break from you. I remember there was a video of a kid, I think in Texas. He was sitting in the truck with his dad, and he was like, I don't want to go back in that house with his mother and his stepdad. He's like, I'm done. And he had reached the age where he could make his own decision. And that's exactly what he did. He's like, nope. And the cop was like, look, he's old enough to make his own decision on which parent he could stay with, and this is his decision. We can't do nothing about it. And she tried to talk to him and this, that, and the third, and come in the house. And he's like, no, I don't want to do none of that. And if I do, I need the cop to come with me so I can get my stuff and leave. And this is the type of behavior that Kelis is exhibiting. But the problem is she keeps getting slaps on the wrist, and she keeps getting passes, to the point where this happens to a lot of custodial parents, and a lot of custodial parents with a vendetta. They know for the most part they're not going to lose custody, so they just keep upping the ante. And they don't realize you up the ante until sometimes you lose your kid, or even without the court being involved, because the kid just gets tired of you. And if the kid takes your side for so long, at some point the light bulb is going to go off. Like when I was talking about 50 Cent's son. Don't be surprised if either he's not going to have kids because he doesn't want that to be his life, because he recognized traits in his mother that he sees in other women, and he's not going to put himself in that position even though he hates his father. Or he's going to wind up with somebody just like his mama, and then get her pregnant, and then the light bulb going to go off, and then it's going to be a problem. So the reason I'm talking about this, because this happens all too often. And in the middle of all this Me Too stuff, and men are monsters and men are evil and men do this and men do that, this story with Nas and Kelis seems to be flow right under the radar, like all the white guys who get away with assault charges. I'm just saying. Peace.